Okay, welcome back. I'm dividing the videos up into 7 different ones rather than one long video. So I'm going to do a new introduction at the beginning of each one. So number 1, we talked about patterns and cycles, and number 2, we talked about the Big Bang and how the note out of that was an F sharp. So the fundamental frequency of the entire universe is an F sharp. Now we're going to go into DNA and think, do we see a pattern and a cycle of this F sharp throughout things that are in the universe? And that includes the human body is one of them. So let us go take a look at some DNA. Share my screen and move myself up. Here we go. And as before, the link to the article that relates to this blog post or to this YouTube thing will be below here. And all of the sources that I talk about and that I share on here are at the end of the blog post. Okay. So if you want to see where I got my research, you have to go to the blog post to find them. We draw the curtain back on the frequencies of creation of DNA and beyond. All right. We know that F sharp is the fundamental frequency of creation. The intervals of a minor third and major third were the first 2 from the harmonic series evident in that sound, which are the 4th and 5th harmonics of the harmonic series. These notes are F sharp, which is the fundamental, followed by an A, which is a minor third above F sharp. Then, because I couldn't really understand what Whittle was saying, he said it morphs into a major third. So my musical mind goes, does that mean it slides into an A sharp, making the minor third a major third? Or is it a major third above the A, which would make it a C sharp? And, if I ever get a chance, I'll have to ask him that question because he's not specific. Either way, it appears that the F sharp minor and F sharp major triads are a main focus in creation. So just remember the minor third and the major third. Those are intervals. That's the distance from one note to the next. So a minor third, bum, ba, da, 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 there's your minor third. And the major third is like the first 2 notes of a major triad. So I could sing bum, bum, and then da, da, dum. My brain is not doing it today. Actually, it's my voice struggles. So I'm going to turn on, I can't do that. I have to stop sharing because I really should just turn on the original sound for musicians. We're going to pull up my cymoscope. Here is your minor third. Doo, doo. Here's your major third. Doo, doo. Now, if we're doing it from F sharp to A is da, da. And here's your major third. Da, dum. Da, 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 dum. There's your triad, which has both a major and a minor third in it. So a major triad has a major third at the bottom and a minor third at the top. Whereas a minor triad has a minor third at the bottom and a major third at the top. And you're going to see that once we get to the periodic table. Oh, I snuck that in a little too soon. Okay, now we're going to turn off the original sound for musicians again. And we are going to share screen. I just don't want you to have to hear the washing machine making noises in the background. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Will it go? Come on. It's not wanting to go. All righty. It's being persnickety. There we go. Let me try that. Oh, the concert pitch hovers around the A440 concert pitch depending on the temperament. That is from the original sound of creation. And that is based on the pitch that Whittle played in his Big Bang. Now, let me see if I can get it to work. There we go. Now, here is the F sharp harmonic series that I actually put into a music program. And you notice the composer is the universe. I thought that was creative. So this just shows the fundamental frequency of F sharp and all of the other notes that come out of that fundamental frequency, because every musical note is going to have its own harmonic series. This just happens to be the harmonic series for F sharp, which, by the way, is my favorite key. I used to make my students learn the F sharp scale first because it had all these nasty fingerings in it. I know, mean teacher, right? Susan Alexander is a composer, and her links to her work are in the blog post that are posted below. So if you want to see all this stuff I'm showing you here, go to the blog post. She worked with a biologist to figure out the musical frequencies of the 4 DNA bases. And she wrote an article on her findings, which are in the blog post below. She found that, and I'm quoting her, F sharp is the pitch which shows up the most frequently in the DNA bases. And that's the end of the quote. The interesting thing is that she also noted that it appears C sharp acts as the fundamental. Even though F sharp shows up more, C sharp appears to be the fundamental. That's interesting, but no need to fear. C sharp and F sharp are very closely related and are easily interchangeable. They're both evident in Whittle's discussion. And again, I'm really glad that I turned off the original sound for musicians, because now the street sweeper is going in front of the house while the washer is on the spin cycle. Gotta love it. I'm getting a show outside. Here's a picture of her putting on a keyboard where all the different DNA bases lie. And obviously, if it's to the right, it's going to be higher pitch. And if it's to the left, it's going to be lower pitch. And here's C sharp. And you can see that's obviously a fundamental. I mean, look at how they're just all lined up there. Look at these F sharps. I mean, there's all these other ones there, but look at how many of them are so centered around F sharp and C sharp. With a few other words, there's none on A. No, there is. I lied. There's one that's kind of like on a B flat, or that's A flat. Very interesting. None of them are on white keys. They're only on the black keys, except for F and E. Huh. Hadn't noticed that until just now. All right. You got to learn something new every day. Here is a list of all of those pitches, and it's really hard to see it, but it's on her website. And you can, hopefully she still has that link up, but you might be able to screenshot this and blow it up so you can see it. But that's listing them in order of frequency and which of the 4 DNA bases have which pitches in them. Now here's some. Yeah, you didn't want to hear Go Vandals at that moment. It's the middle of the day. What can I say? Anyway, notice once we get to the shapes, you're going to be hearing and seeing a lot of stuff that correlates with what's going on here. Musical notes create shapes. Keep that in mind. Next, we are going to see how F sharp, guess where we are going to see it? The Great Pyramid. Yahoo! So as before, if you want more of this stuff, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram so you can get my cute little saying every day. I also put it on the Facebook page. And if you really want to geek out on all things frequency, sign up for the newsletter, because you're going to get something about every 10 days that directs you to a blog post or an article or something else. And I always go into more information in the newsletter than I do in the actual article. So you get more goodies, lots of goodies. There's some treasure hunts on the newsletter as well. And I'm going to stop sharing. Maybe eventually these street sweepers will be done. You know, I think that's telling us that maybe we're not getting any more snow. All right. We'll see you in the next one, which we'll talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Until then.